Hi, I'm Dave Clarke, and on behalf of 3VOOR12, who are you?
My name is Torre. I am the singer and frontman, also known as rock god of the Staat. Nice to meet you.
You've just come off stage from Alpha, and I believe the last time you played at Lowlands was from the Grolsch stage. How's that for you? It must be amazing in your own country.
Oh, it's great, man. I would have been like really happy if we were playing at the India or whatever, or the smallest stage here, but the Alpha is like, it's like no comparison, really. It's insane. And
were you really happy with your performance?
To be honest, after the show, I just didn't know what to think. I always just look at people around me like, how was it, you know? You can't, with these kind of shows, you kind of get into a certain zone. You just do it. Most of the time in the beginning, I'm just thinking about like really weird stuff, like things I could see someone in the audience. That's what I had today, actually. And it reminded me of someone I knew, and then I thought, I should send them a text. I forgot. You know, that's while I'm singing, really. It's really weird. You know, you have to get into it. But after a couple of songs, it's like the other way around. You start to get high and start to get into the zone, and you just don't really know anymore at a certain point.
But it's incredibly hot. I mean, how was that for you to perform? I mean, I was standing backstage. I wasn't moving. You guys were really, really active, and I was like sweating shitloads. I mean, you must have been dehydrated when it came off, right?
Yeah, I was already sweating when I wasn't playing. You know, I came on stage just alone with the guitar, and I put the guitar on. I was like, "Fuck, Jesus Christ, 1 hour."
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun though, because you sing and you certainly. At a certain point, you just realize I don't have any oxygen anymore. Yeah. When I started to move, at some certain points I just couldn't. My legs felt kind of like how do you say that?
Dead.
Dead, right? And
you didn't look dead-legged.
No, you know, you try, but it's weird. But it's a kind of a nice feeling as well. You know what I mean? It's like you're high in a way, but not really the good high though, because. I just wanted to jump more and stuff like that, but I knew, fuck, if I'm gonna sing now, there won't be coming any note out of my throat.
Is it difficult to play guitar when you got sweaty hands? That's something I've always wanted to know.
Yeah, it is actually.
Yeah?
In the beginning it ain't, but this was so hot, so you just feel like, it's like you're holding a big, slippery, I don't want to say it, but I think it's really good, you can compare it to a big, slippery dildo.
Do you have much experience with those? I mean, it comes straight to mind. I know you're a little bit high still, but...
Yeah, I do.
Fantastic.
Yeah, okay. But so it's weird, so you don't really feel the... So when I do a lot of this stuff, so when I get to the high point, it's like... You just grab the wrong note or whatever, but...
Can you use like a gymnast, you know, like the gymnast chalk? Does that work?
No, it does not, because I think it will get into the strings and it will sound pretty dead. But, you know, we could try.
Your drummer, he reminded me, I think because he had his top off and it was so hot, he reminded me of Animal from the Muppets. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do, yeah. It reminds me of him. Yeah, I have the same thing.
What's going on with that whole big machinery thing? It's quite impressive. Who built it?
It's a guy named Geert Jonkers. He calls himself the audio machinist. He makes all this weird stuff, and I think this is kind of one of the most not the biggest one, but with the most things in it. You know what I mean? Because he has built all this smaller stuff and big stuff. But I kind of asked him, because I found him on the internet, and I wanted to make something like that for our record, because I thought it was going to be called Machinery. I thought it would be cool if we had like a big cymbal on stage. You know, like it's. How do you say that? I don't know how to say that in English. Like
say it in Dutch. They understand Dutch.
A decorstuk. But you know, but it's a thing that actually moves. So the first time we used that thing on stage with our CD presentation, it just looked like a thing that was there, like just a beautiful, well-crafted thing, just standing there. But at the end of the show, we turn it on, you know, and the machine starts turning and the whole thing starts moving. So it was kind of the point, like, what the hell?
Yeah.
You know, and
It reminded me of like a drum version of like Nautilus, the submarine that went under the sea or something. It's very, what we call in England, I don't know if you know Heath Robinson. It's amazing actually. And like, I know we've had conversations before, I know that you're a fan of quantum physics, for example. How does that piece of machinery fit into quantum physics theory?
It does not, actually, but we could make something up, you know? Yeah. But no, it's actually, I think it just goes further back instead of to the future, you know? It's like we have all these drum machines now. You probably have them as well, like the digital stuff, the electronic stuff. And this is kind of like a drum machine, only with the techniques of like the 19th century.
And it doesn't have bad jokes like some drummers do. Does your drummer have bad jokes?
Yeah, he's got one. Can I say it?
You can say it.
It's Dutch though.
Yeah, say it in Dutch.
It's kind of an interesting joke, because it's een beetje een interessante mop, vind ik, omdat hij, nou ik zal hem even doen. Oké, Hassan zit voorop en Ahmed zit achterop. Wie zit er in het midden? Dat is de vraag. En het antwoord is Rob. Ahmed zit er voor Rob. Rob, weet je wel? Op zich niet heel erg grappig, maar het is wel interessant. Want heel veel mensen, het zijn heel veel mensen die dan zeggen... Oké, Hassan zit achterop, Ahmed zit voorop, wie zit in het midden? Politie, weet je wel? Het zijn gewoon van dat soort dingen. Terwijl dat eigenlijk, dat is eigenlijk een goed kenmerk van deze tijd en waar het naartoe gaat misschien. Maar het is eigenlijk helemaal geen racistische mop, terwijl het zo lijkt. Did you understand what I was saying?
No, I'm looking for their reaction so I know when to laugh.
Yeah, now.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Do you follow what happens after a gig on Twitter? Do you actually see if you're trending? Do you put the Staat in search and see what happens?
Yes, but I don't, not right after the show, but you know, maybe just like when I go home in bed and stuff like that, I just tend to look at it for a while and then I fall asleep happily.
So where next? I mean, you've had a top 10 album, a number 4, I think, in the top 10. You've played probably the best stage here at Lowlands. I personally feel that you have, out of all the Dutch acts that I know, the best chance of crossing over to England, to Germany. Do you think that's going to happen for you guys?
Actually, I think I do. Yeah. It sounds a bit cocky, but we've been to Germany now, I think 3 times. We did 3 tours. England kind of the same, maybe 2. And it's always a good sign. The first gigs we had were more like 20 people there, maybe in a 100 people venue. And the next time we came back, it was 3 times as much. Like the same people were there, but they brought their friends. You know, you can actually, you know, just talk to the guys who were there, and they were like, "Yeah, I was there, you know, a year ago, and I was there at Glastonbury." So it's really a good sign, I think. And every time when we come back, it's getting bigger. You know, it's still small venues, but it just feels like the beginning of when we were playing in here, you know. So it feels good. We just have to go back every time. You know, it costs a lot of money and stuff like that, but it doesn't really matter because we got the feeling that it's working out. Also, you know, in the States, we got some people really enthusiastic about us. And
was it a conscious decision to drop Dutch as a primary language for singing and actually adopting English?
It wasn't really like dropping Dutch, you know. In Holland, it's more like you start out with English, I think, with a lot of rock bands. It's only since, I think, maybe 2 years that I'm singing in Dutch as well with a project that they with the singer of Roastbeef. I'm not sure if you know that, but I think the language English kind of, you know, weaved into the rock and roll. It's kind of difficult when you sing in Dutch. It automatically sounds kind of like it sounds kind of clownesque. Rock music in Dutch still sounds kind of weird to me. But
do you like any Dutch artists that are singing Dutch now, for example?
Yeah, I do. You know, the old stuff of Doe Maar is great. I don't know if you know him. It's
a bit like UB40 and Madness.
Yeah, but better, I think. But
Whoa.
yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of Dutch people feel strongly about Duma, like Duma's ours, and you can't touch it. But I always hear UB40.
Sure, but it's fine. Because you don't hear the lyrics. You know, that's the thing.
True, yeah.
That's the thing with Duma. That's what makes them special, actually, because they're singing in Dutch. And there's a lot of stuff that's the same thing. But I'm definitely for crossing the border. You know, I'm not. It could be a possibility that we're doing a Dutch song on our next record or the record after that. I'm not saying no to that.
And when's the next record going to come? And when are you going to send me the stems?
I'm not sure. I think I'm thinking about it a lot at the time, but when we got time, we'll be working on it, man. And you'll be welcome to come down to the studio, Mr. Dave.
Where is the studio actually?
Well, I have a small studio at our place. I live with two of the other guys from the band. I'm not sure if you knew that.
Okay.
But just a small home studio. I have, but we record. It doesn't really matter where we record. We'll see.
Well, thanks very much. I really enjoyed your set, and safe journey.
Well, thank you, sir.